Hi, and welcome to the Chronicles of Yarnia, the podcast from Montclair's local yarn store. My name's Amanda.
I'm Jen.
I'm Kathleen.
I'm Haley.
And this is episode
83?
I think so. I'm not prepared this week either. I'm semi-prepared. I did bring my little cheat sheet on vacation, but we're losing light and we didn't have enough time to do all of our pre-stuff. So I'm going to do that after I upload the video for Amanda.
You wrote 84.
I wrote 84.
Post-production.
Yeah.
I am coming to you remote from my craft room. Look, I have plants now. That's because we are still doing construction on our house. And so basically these guys have nowhere to live until the construction is done. So they're basically living up here because this is the other place that gets south-facing light. Some of them are doing pretty well. So some of them are going to stay put.
So, yeah, it's mid-August. Everybody's away, or not. Obviously, I'm still here in the store. For me, it's Sunday afternoon. This is way later than I usually podcast. Usually do it in the middle of the week, but this week I was traveling for business. I visited Portland, Oregon, and did nothing super interesting. A little bit of dancing, a little bit of karaoke, like late at night after work, but I was sitting in the basement of the conference center under fluorescent lights for 3 full days and then took a 6 a.m. flight home. So, unfortunately, there was no time to visit some of our friends in Portland, like Knitted Wit or Woolfolk. These guys here and these guys over here. Because I was busy with insurance work the whole time, which is sort of a bummer, but I've got to get home and take care of kiddos and family and things like that. So, not always time to stay and play. Let's see, actually, I also had to get home because I had a dance competition yesterday, which was a lot of fun. I danced with Fred Astaire for fun, and we had the New Jersey mini match yesterday, which all the schools in New Jersey got together and showed off our dances and competed to win the trophy. Upper Montclair's Fred Astaire did well. We came in 4th. I think Montvale came in 1st. So congratulations, Montvale. We were the champions last year, so we got to come back next year and take that trophy back. But you get to keep it for 1 year. We used to have an Around Town segment, which I feel like we haven't done quite so much as we used to. But we could do it again. Because I saw that if you're local to Montclair, New Jersey, you might be interested. On Wednesday, August 17th, there's going to be some live music in the evening at Edgemont Park, and that's the park, I'm going to point to it, over here on Valley Road. We're on Watchung. Watchung intersects Valley right by Edgemont Park, so it's really, you could walk there from Yarnia, or for the train station right here by Yarnia. So that should be pleasant. I mean, if you were local, you could come for in-person knit night on Wednesday, stay for an hour and a half or so, and then walk over to the park and enjoy some music. It sounds like there's going to be somebody playing music from like the 40s and 50s and 60s and things like that. So lots of old standards. Take a picnic blanket, maybe a picnic chair if you like some back support, bring your knitting, and that should be a really fun night. I think the heat wave finally broke, so if it was a week or two ago, it would be like way too hot, even at 7 o'clock at night. But now it seems pretty pleasant. So yay, that'll be fun. I don't think I've been to hear live music outside. I've been to a couple live bands indoors this summer, but not any outside. I might take a subset of the children and go do that. That would be fun.
So, yeah, it's been 2 weeks, and this is one of those podcasts. We feel like we're back to the pandemic times of podcasting, right? Where you and I are together, and Jen and Amanda will be
it's just
on their own.
I don't have many words today. Sorry.
Yeah, she almost didn't want to do it at all, and
I'm not at 100% capacity.
I said, Haley, people miss you.
I'm not at 100% brain power today, so.
Yeah. But we had a fun day today, right? First, we've been up here for a week. We're actually leaving tomorrow morning.
Here is Cape Cod.
Chatham, specifically, which is the elbow of Cape Cod. And we are in South Chatham, which is kind of West Chatham, geographically. Did you know that? I probably said it earlier.
But it's like Southwest.
Yeah, sort of. So we are going to try to be a little quick because we don't want to completely lose the light. I guess we should just jump right in with, well, you know what? No, let's not jump right in. What I wanted to talk about, because a lot of times what we used to do was around town. Yeah. And because we're around a different town this time, I thought we'd tell you about a couple of our favorite stores. Because if you're in this area, we would love for you to check them out. So one of our favorite stores in this area, and you probably remember from when you were really little, is Ben Franklin, right?
I remember the last time we were here, yeah.
And it's a true traditional, like, old-fashioned 5 and dime. You can find pretty much anything there. So you did get a t-shirt there this year.
Oh, I could have worn it.
You could have worn it. Oh well. She's not fully functioning today, as she said.
She's not brain capacity.
Not at her best.
I'm a little sick.
She had a little bit of a sore throat for a couple of days. Yeah, so Ben Franklin is one of our favorite stores, and I actually got something I really like there this year. I got a hat, which hats hardly ever fit me, as we have talked about. Nice sun hat. So, I'm not going to wear it for the whole podcast, but it actually does fit on my head.
It's cute with the outfit.
It matches. So, I've been wearing this a lot on vacation. And I actually got sunglasses there, too, at Ben Franklin.
Oh, that's where you got those.
That's where I got them, yeah, right when I walked in. I was blocking the door.
Can I show the sky really quick?
Oh, the sky is really pretty. But are we going to be able to get it back? You don't have your phone with you?
It's fine.
Okay.
Sky. Sky.
Very pretty. Very pretty.
Okay.
One of my other favorite stores in Chatham is called Yankee Ingenuity.
This one was my favorite this time.
Yeah. They have amazing, really well-chosen stuff.
Handmade.
A lot of handmade things
Crafted.
from all over the U.S. and other countries as well.
Stuff.
So the first
like
thing...
local to Cape Cod.
Yes. The first thing that I got there this year was these earrings, which reminded me of yarn balls. I hope I'm holding them in a spot you can see them, because we don't have...
Here, wait. I can.
Haley's going to go check for us.
We have low production value today. Here, wait, I'll cover your face. There you are. Look at that. They're so cute.
They're so cute. And they were, honestly, and they're sterling silver wires and whatever. They were about $30. They were so reasonable for what they are. And they just reminded me of yarn balls. And I said, oh, I would like to get them because I've been looking for some earrings that would be good everyday earrings for me. And these definitely will. And then when I went back the other day, I found these, which you're not going to be able to see. But anyway, they're sterling silver and garnet. And they were also like under $50. Amazing. I don't know what the deal is with that store, but they have beautiful things. I don't buy a lot of things. My sister and mom were here and we were talking about this with them, and Haley was laughing and saying, I'm like, I don't buy a lot of things like other than yarn and food and things. And you're like, no, never. She does not spend money, this woman. Right?
I don't remember that conversation, but yeah.
You did. But in this store, it's really hard for me not to find many things that I love and spend money. The other which is good, is supporting the local economy. I got a garlic press, which was something I also really wanted.
Fish.
And it's shaped like a fish, so it'll remind me that I got it on vacation on Cape Cod. So that's kind of the around town from the town we've been in for this last week.
In my piece of around town, I've been on a mission for sea glass.
That's true.
And I finally found some.
Yes. So today...
It's taken 21 years to actually find a piece of sea glass by myself.
You got some at the Forestry Beach the other night, I think, right? Was that where you got it? Mm-hmm. There are a lot of beaches here in Chatham along the Nantucket Sound. And then today we went up to Eastham and Wellfleet and Provincetown. And I was working on...
Truro.
one of my whips that I'll show you in a minute, while Jean and Haley were looking for sea glass at the Race Point Beach and found some. Yay! And rocks and things,
so
right?
if you ever, if you have any tips or places that I can check out, if you too are a sea glass
aficionado.
Like me.
Aficionado. Yeah. You would appreciate sea glass tips.
Yes.
Yeah.
Comment below.
You could actually make some, but you don't. You want the pure real stuff.
Ooh. Yeah, I
With
do.
a rock
I do
tumbler.
want to get a rock tumbler.
Yeah,
I
I've
have
always
recommendations for a rock tumbler.
You wanted
I'm
a
in the
rock tumbler
market.
when you were little too.
Really?
Yeah, but you wanted
I
everything
still
when you
want
were
a rock
little.
tumbler.
So it was hard to decide what to get because it changed from day to day and whatever.
Let's see. What do I have finished? I have a finished object. Aren't you proud of me? Yay. So what I finished this week was my 2 Tendrils by Jen Weissman. So this is a cowl. Beep, beep. Like this. So this is a cowl, not quite for mid-August, but definitely will be awesome in the fall. And I have not blocked it because I should have, because I finished it like a week ago, but I was too lazy. I haven't done it yet. So cozy up around your neck. You can tuck it in to give a little bit lower of a neckline. That's how Jen styles it in her pictures too. But look at that. See, it's like great. It has this center thing. So when you wear your coat, right, that like comes down in the front, you're not going to get a gap between where your coat is and where your cowl starts. This is going to keep the wind out, which is lovely. And this was made in that airy silk that I told you about, from Muse Art, which we have their fingering in. And I think I really enjoyed working with this. It's super special. I wish Jen and Kathleen were here to feel it. But it's not as shiny as like a mulberry silk, but it's also not made in the same way mulberry silk is either, where, you know, mulberry silk is pulled out of the cocoon, bug dies, all that stuff. Airy silk is the cocoon actually hatches, and then they process the silk out of that hatched cocoon. So, yay! So that's, it's a little bit different processing. Again, this is 2 Tendrils by Jen Weissman, who's a local Montclair designer. I really enjoyed working on this. It's a lot of fun. As you can see, like the body, there's a lot of stockinette on the body, which makes it a nice, this was a car project for me on my North Carolina trip. I've been traveling a lot recently. But a lot of knitting time. So you'll see more travel knitting projects in a minute. But then there was like this cable too, which wasn't like an every row cable, so that makes it nice and breaks it up, right? You cable every 4-ish rows or so. There's some like broken ribbon here, so it's enough texture to keep it interesting, but not so much that you have to like focus all the time. It's still a good car project, and it's in bulky, so it goes really fast. I love this. It's super soft. If you or someone you know, this would be a great gift knit. Is like, doesn't love wool or is afraid of wool, right? But you still want to do a heavy cowl. This would be a great option, right? Because it's 100% silk. This fiber will be coming in the fall. It's not here yet. I know it's teased, but it's coming. I love this color too. It's that like brownish mauvey that you know I love. I'm looking here at my at the stranded, the outstranding shawl here. It's like basically the same color that I did earlier in the spring, right? We have a color theme going on here. Yay. So anyway, I love podcasting in the store. Everything you need is right at your fingertips. So that is my finished object.
All right, so
Darn.
Why don't we talk about some yarny things?
You go first.
So one thing that has been surprising, usually on vacation I actually do get a lot of knitting done, but this time I have not gotten a whole lot of knitting done.
Me
I
neither.
did finish my, what I'm calling my Ranunculus Remix, which is done in Nev. And I have good notes on Ravelry, though actually I'm going to make a note to check my Ravelry notes, because I'm not sure I put the very last things I did in it. But basically, this is the regular, it's the beginning of a ranunculus the way I do it, which is I start my ribbing with the full number of stitches after the first increase, which happens immediately after the ribbing. I just like the neck to be a little more open and loose. I just do a regular cast on. I don't do the slip. I think it's a slip knot cast on she recommends. I did this in Juniper Moon Nev, which we have a decent amount of left. This took less than 3 balls, and I made, I think, well, this is, I make the one that's like the basic size. I haven't updated my pattern yet. I still have the original ranunculus pattern unupdated. But I love the part where there are these, you know, kind of almost cable-y looking stitches and then the slip stitches. So I did those 2 as normal. I did a few more rows working in the next set of increases, and then I kind of mirrored that again.
Symmetrically.
Yes, because I do like symmetrical things a lot of the time. I really do.
Tell them about the color.
Oh, the color, of course. How could I forget? So, what was, oh, I know. I brought a little bit of work with me. I've been trying to do just like an hour a day, because you gotta stay on top of stuff. And one of the things, Amanda had put some new stuff into inventory that we got from KFI, and they're our rep for Juniper Moon, and I had some existing stuff, and I looked at one of the things she put in, and one of the colors was wenge, and I was like, what is wenge? It's like such a funny word. And also I've heard of it before, but I never bothered to look it up. And coincidentally, I've been thinking about the color of this top, which is in
Their own numbers.
They're numbers, but we do have, there are names as well. They have names. And this one is like hot espresso, which like hot espresso and cold espresso to me should be the same color. And it's almost like,
I don't drink enough espresso to know.
weak hot espresso? I don't know. It's a little, to me, espresso should be even darker than this. But anyway, what I found out when I looked up wenge, this color is wenge.
It's like exactly
This is
wenge.
like literally next to wenge in the dictionary is a picture of this yarn.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool. That was a cool thing from earlier in the week.
The sky's even prettier now.
It is, but we're leaving the camera where it is.
Yes, we're leaving the camera.
Yeah, so this is the only finished object that we have between us. I'm really happy with it. I did my same, instead of binding off right when you divide for sleeves, I do 3 more rows of stockinette, I do 4 rows of twisted rib, and then I bind off. Definitely for this, I just, you know, I've been doing this nice kind of cap sleeve. It's a nice length for me. I'm really happy with it.
It does feel so nice knit up. Like,
Yeah.
It feels like a really good summer yarn, but like soft.
Yeah, so I'll probably wear this out to dinner tonight. We'll see. We will see. So before we completely lose the light, Haley, you want to talk about one of your projects?
Do you have any more?
No, I have no more finished objects. This is the one, and actually, I'm almost surprised this is finished, and it's finished because I knew we were going to podcast while we were away. So.
Sometimes you need a deadline.
I always need a deadline.
Yeah. When I say sometimes, for us, we're the end of always in the sometimes spectrum.
In the sometimes continuum.
But anyway, we are remote today because schedules, vacations and whatnot, and yeah, all that kind of fun August stuff. So speaking of fun August stuff, let's see, I just came back from a trip to Montreal with friends of mine from high school, which was so lovely to see them. They were, you know, these are friends of mine who have known me. We realized like we've known each other longer than everyone but our families, which is kind of awesome. And we're still friends. And we did a lot of stuff in Montreal, a lot of food and a lot of we did a couple of walking tours. We did not, unfortunately, get to go to Espace Tricot, which they are crafty adjacent. They're not necessarily, they're crafty in their own right, but not yarn crafts. So, and we were only there for a short amount of time. So it was mostly about like us hanging out and having a good time. But so that was kind of a bummer, but let me tell you, Montreal is gorgeous. I'm sure Haley could tell you since she spent a year or so up there pre-pandemic. But it was lovely. So I actually didn't do a whole heck of a lot of knitting. I brought knitting with me. I brought my sock on the plane. But I did not do much. I have an ottoman stacked with stuff over there, and I was just moving stuff around. So let's see. Yet again, I have no finished object. This summer has been a little bit busy, and it's been a little bit hard to get in the gear of finishing things. Like I said, we have a lot going on here. We have a lot going on at the store too, but we have a lot going on like at my house. There is like an enormous hole in my yard. There was an enormous hole in my backyard as well. That has since been filled up. And they're starting work on a wall, and there's like a porch, and I have no kitchen. And so basically by the time I get home and I'm done with stuff, I am done with stuff. So I've been doing some mindless knitting, but nothing like huge. And I have been doing a lot of spinning. Spinning is one of those things that, you know, for me is a little bit easier to do when like you have a lot going on, because for me it really truly is kind of like just automatic now. I don't have to think too hard about it. And I've recently gone through, I was just looking to see if I have any already spun yarn floating around. I was looking for my Nitty Knotty this afternoon so I could wind some of the yarn that I've spun into skeins in order to wash them and set the twist and count the yardage. And I have no idea where my Nitty Knotty is. A Nitty Knotty is a tool that basically helps you wind a skein by hand. So I have to find that. I don't think we packed it up when we packed up the rest of our house for the construction, but I don't actually know. It's a good question. I should probably find out. But anyway, so that's where I'm at these days. I am still... So that's my finished objects. None. Other than some spinning. My whips are... I have made 0 progress on my anchor. But it's almost done anyway. So I really just need to sit down and finish it. Which honestly I'll probably do tonight. Is I'll probably just sit down and like, you know, watch a show or something. We've been watching Only Murders in the Building season 2. I like to wait for things to build up a little bit and then watch them all at once. Makes life a lot easier in terms of being able to finish things. Here's some yarn that I already have, but I think I showed this in the last podcast. If not, you can see right here. So that is not yet finished. It is spun and plied, but it hasn't been finished. And what happens is I'll take it off of the bobbin, mostly so I can reuse the bobbin and not have to reset it. And then I'll wind this into a skein, and then I will wash the skein in very, 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 very hot water. And a little bit of soap wool wash, and I'll let it sit so the yarn plumps up and kind of it sets the twist. And then I will sometimes thwack, like literally like hit the yarn against something, like usually the side of my tub, and then hang it to dry, and then it'll be finished. But I have yet to do that. And this is Rambouillet. So it's super soft, it's very crimpy, it's very squishy. So I think it'll be great when it comes out. So I guess that technically is my finished object. I have another yarn in here. And I think I may have left my socks downstairs, so they might stay downstairs for the moment. Yeah, I left my socks downstairs. Oh well, sorry. And the other thing that I need to finish is my Felix, which is in the La Bien Aimée Cory Confetti, which is a yarn that is available only on La Bien Aimée's site. However, it's the same base as the Cory worsted, which we carry in the store and which I love, and which I'm already thinking about what sweaters to do for fall, and what sweater to do for the fall sweater class. I'm thinking a worsted weight, mostly because I want to use the Cory Confetti or the Cory worsted. But yeah, so those are my 2 main whips, and I really want to try to finish them, hopefully in the next week or 2. We are going away again, this time the whole family. So I really want to be able to wear this, especially up at Cape Cod, where it gets chilly in the evenings. So I'm looking forward to that. I think that'll be good. And that is only going to take like an hour or 2 to finish. Maybe less than that, depending. Part of the other reason that I did not finish a lot this week is that both of my kids are or were away at like Camp Grandparent, which was fun, but it was a bit of a logistical thing. So we had to go down, or my husband went down via train to bring them down, and then he went down via train and came back with Ollie, who is home now because he has camp, and Max is staying until Tuesday. So that'll be fun. He'll come back and he'll have a couple of free days to, do stuff, and I have no idea what he's going to want to do because he's 13, and who knows. So
this guy. Okay.
You haven't been doing terribly much knitting either. We've been playing lots of games at nights.
Yeah.
My mom and my sister were here with us. They left this morning. So yeah, we have not been knitting as much.
I brought some projects, but
yeah,
I didn't feel like working on it. And like every time I picked up the sock that I'm working on that you saw last time, I needed a longer needle to start the decreases.
And we were always someplace where we did not have
I
access
was always
to a longer
out,
needle.
so
yeah.
Here it is. Voila.
So close.
Voila.
So close to being done.
The neons look really cool in the light, actually.
Yeah, they do.
And I tried to do 2 circulars with my little 9-inch. I couldn't figure out what would work. But funny story with these little stitch markers. At my friend Molly's graduation party last 2 weeks ago.
A couple of weekends ago.
The sky is really pretty. I hope you can see the light. Anyways, like we were sitting around the fire and I was working on this sock, and this little guy is very bright stitch marker. It reflects the light very well. And my friend Molly's sister thought that it was like a light up stitch marker.
Does she knit?
No.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no one else around the fire knits. Mm-hmm. So it was kind of funny.
Whoops.
But I just wanted to give a little more anecdote, because this is kind of all I got. I've just knit the foot since you last saw it.
Well, you have a little bit of crochet that you started today too.
Well, I mean, this is
right. And I have knit a little bit on my sock. Between kind of being on the go a lot of the time, not having any place in this house that has great light for sitting and knitting, we just haven't been able to do our usual thing. But I am making progress, and I'm excited about this. This is one of the yarns from Nitty Natty's Sock Week, and it's by the Little Wolf Knits, and I love the colors. Well, it was a limited edition, so you're not going to be able to get it right now anyway, but
Beach at Dawn or something.
Yeah, something like that.
And then the mini is called Shark. Actually, we haven't seen any sharks here.
We've heard about them, but we haven't seen them, thankfully.
Sharktivity, the app, has told me about all of the sightings, which are right by us. Mm-hmm. But I haven't seen any. Haven't seen any seals. Mm-hmm. Sad.
We didn't go to the seal beach. Monomoy Beach is the seal beach.
Do you have to take a ferry to that?
No, you can go down a little bit on one of the roads.
Do they have a bridge?
But no.
Is it? It's not connected.
There's one road that connects some of it. I don't know. Maybe it's not that island, but it's next to that island. So what else do you have?
So, this is what I started.
Oh, right.
I have a picture of them. We got the Toft Rhino booties.
They're so cute.
I got it. I'll show you how much I have.
Let's show it more close up, which I don't know if that's the right spot to hold it. I hope it is.
I'll look.
You look. Tell me up or down.
Down to the right a little bit. No.
My right. You're
right. Meep. Toft booties. They're little rhinos. They're for babies.
Ooh. We are being mosquito bitten.
Oh, I'm all over. Here's what I got.
Oh no, is that all you started?
That's all I got.
All right.
So
This may become very short if
I
we
was thinking about working on it during this, but like I said, not 100%. Limited brain capacity.
The thing I have been doing in the daylight as much as possible is one of the cross-stitch kits that we got from Hawthorne Handmade, which we talked about last time. Let me find the picture of it.
We showed all the ones that we have.
The picture is in here.
In the store.
So, and yeah, actually, I think we only have one of these left. A couple have been ordered. This one is basically like autumn trees, and the box on this one was damaged, so I thought it would be a perfect Yarnia store sample. And I am having the fun of making it. So
it almost looks like the top of toadstools right now.
I know, right? This is as far as I've gotten. I did start, usually with cross stitch, they tell you to kind of start in the middle. There are sort of crosshairs on it, and you start in the middle. So that's what the top of the red tree is. But then I felt like kind of working off to the left. So
I was wondering what made you start there.
Yeah, it is best. I mean, you can count all the things and everything, but it's basically, if you fold your fabric into quarters and then you have approximately the center of the fabric, you do with what's at the crosshairs. And that makes sure you have enough fabric all the way around to frame it, to, you know, have it be nicely on your hoop. It's shifted off to the side right now because I've been working where you can see where my thread is out here. So that is that. And that is definitely for me a project that is much better to do in natural light. Even with really good indoor light, it's not so great. The other thing that I brought with me that I thought I would do a lot of knitting on, that I have not.
I've not seen this at all.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. I even wound the yarn at the store. I didn't wind it. So one of the question we asked last time, and we will pull a winner and I'll send it to Amanda and she will pop it in, is what is the whip that you're most looking forward to finishing? And one person answered the Epernay pullover by Baby Cocktails, Thea Coleman. So that I had seen before. It's beautiful. I'm a big fan of Thea Coleman, and this pattern was actually written for Corey Worsted, and what I was looking to do was to make a Corey Worsted sweater. So I looked at that one, then I thought about the Seelbach, which is named after a hotel in Louisville where I have spent probably 100 nights of my life.
Really?
Yes, I used to go all the time, usually for 2 or 3 days. I kind of went back and forth, and originally I was going to make a stratified, and I still will make a stratified at some point, but
not right now.
Just not right now. Just not right now, exactly. I just was much more feeling like it was time for a single color cable sweater for me, and so our commenter who mentioned that she was looking forward to finishing Epernay, which she is doing in Winterfell Corey Worsted, inspired me to take another look at that pattern, and so that is what I am doing. I am doing the Epernay in the Dawn Corey Worsted, which I think is going to be so pretty. Not even really one of the colors I usually use, though it does look like the Rocinante cardigan that I have, but it's going to be quite different because it is going to be a pullover and it's going to be cabled. So so this is Dawn, Corey Worsted Dawn. So pretty. So we don't have a whole lot left of this color. We are going to be getting another order in from LBA early in the fall, or fairly early in the fall. So anyway, thank you for inspiring me to take another look at that sweater, and that is what I am going with.
Let's see. Things I've been working on. I've actually made quite a bit of progress this week. The first thing, my travel knitting for the Portland trip, is, as you know, last week I showed you my finished socks. The Helen Stewart Magnolia sock I showed you last week. This is in the Howlin' Sophie color from La Bien-Aimée, and then the Calcifer color, which both of those colors are nods to Howl's Moving Castle, which Jen talked about her boys were reading, and I love that movie. It's so amazing. So I'm making my partner some matching socks. That's these. And this is my gift knit. And it's also going to be sock 4 and 5 for me for Yarnia Sock Bingo. So, you know, well, if you've downloaded your Yarnia Sock Bingo card, which ends on Labor Day, so we've got about 3.5 weeks left. I think I can finish these in 3.5 weeks. So you've got about 3.5 weeks left. You have to knit 5 socks to qualify for a bingo. And if you remember, I did my extra sock to finish the pair of the Jasper Ridge socks. So I finished those. I finished a pair of the Magnolia socks. And now I'm working on the Luminary Socks, also by Helen Stewart, in sort of like the contrast. So this pair has the calcifer color on top. It's going to have a little of the Helen Sophie on the heels and toes. So they're going to be a match, but like opposites, and yay, that's how they'll be. I thought it was a little much to put the Helen Sophie on the cuff, so I didn't do that. But this is Luminary by Helen Stewart. I'll give you a little close-up of the texture. It has this little star pattern and a faux twisted rib on the side, and then the back is all it's a bright color calcifer. It like blows out a little bit. I think back here you can, yeah, it's a better representation of the color. It's calcifer is a little ball of fire who has a saucy attitude, basically. So calcifer is a little ball of fire animated in Howl's Moving Castle, and so this is what he looks like. It's pinks and reds and oranges and a little smidge of yellow, right? Fiery. So this, I finished the leg and turned the heel, and now I'm working on the foot of this sock. I think I have quite a bit of conference call time this week, so I'll probably finish up this sock this week, get started on its mate, and I think I should be able to finish for Yarnia Sock Bingo, which will be lovely. Yay! Okay, so that's my Luminary socks, also with La Bien-Aimée. That's literally all the sock yarn I've been knitting with this summer. I like other sock yarns, it just happens to be the one I'm knitting with, because I was finishing up those that I already knit half of, and then they had the Howl's Moving Castle colors, and I had to use them for 2 pairs of socks. So I will get to other sock yarns later in the fall, because I love so many, but right now it's La Bien-Aimée Super Sock. Oh, and that sock that I had made too small, the Jasper Ridge, is in the store as a sock sample. If you want to come in and see what it's like, check it out. Let's see, what else? Oh, let me show you what else I've been working on, which I think you'll be super proud of me for. I'm making progress on one of the items for my Make 9. So, as you know, I've had, something. I have sand in my bag. I don't know why. Yuck. Oh, yay. Joy of being with children. So, one of the items on my Make 9 this year is the Autumn Court sweater by Dragon Horde Yarn. And I think she is actually putting out new kits for the colors that she originally did her Autumn Court design in. If she is, I'll link it down below. I think I saw one of her podcasts. They have the Girls in the Yarn Cafe podcast, which was actually the first knitting podcast that I ever watched from I think I started it when it was up on episode 3. It linked me to a lot of my other favorite podcasts, Bad Wolf, Bad Wolf Girl, and which is obviously a nod to Doctor Who, and then Bad Wolf Girl Sits and Knits. Yeah, that podcast. Skein-Deer, they introduced me to. And those 3 then spawned all the knitting podcasts for me, which is most of my TV viewing now. But I mean, it's pretty good stuff to watch. But anyway, super thrilled to be knitting one of her designs, but it's a fingering weight sweater and in color work, and instead of using 4 colors like what she designed, I'm using 5 because that's what I really wanted to use. So I had to do a little bit of planning. So I did, as you know, I think I shared last time I swatched, I figured out what my color choices were, and then I set it aside because you have to actually pay attention when you're starting a new sweater, and I didn't always have time to pay attention. But I did last weekend. I had like a Saturday morning relatively free. So I cast on. Yay! I cast on. I did like, and then I did the collar, which is like an 1.5 inch of 2x2 rib. And then what I really needed to pay attention to was the short rows. So immediately after the collar, she has, Tristan has short rows in here so that it raises the back neck. So you can see like the color work starts closer on the front than it does on the back, right? Which makes a more comfortable sweater. And then popping right into the color work, which this is a really accessible color work design. There's not, there are bigger chunks of color. It's not a fussy design, so you can see little bits of it here. I was experimenting with how I wanted the color placement up here, so you can see like, first I tried the pink with the white. I thought there wasn't enough contrast. Then I tried the teal, light teal with the orange, and I thought that was like a little much. And so finally I landed on pink, peach with the orange, which I really like. Yeah, and then I think I like the rest of the way these played out. But I'm not doing what I was experimenting with down here at the end. That's why we swatch, so we make decisions on this much instead of a whole round and have to take out. We also swatch for gauge, but yeah, I wasn't as fussed with that because I have used this yarn. This yarn is Alegria by Manos del Uruguay, which is one of my favorite fingering sweater yarns. It's dyed in co-ops in Uruguay. The colors are beautiful and tonal. They don't really pool, so it's like almost solid, but they're kettle dyed, so there's still some depth of color. They've got beautiful color range. In fact, this is Manos del Uruguay right here, right behind me. All these guys. And it's super soft. So when I made Charlie, who's now 4, when I made his coming home outfit, I used Manos del Uruguay in their Stratus color, which is a beautiful baby blue, and that's what he came home in the hospital in. A onesie, hat, and booties in Manos del Uruguay. Alegria, would super recommend it, and it's super wash. So it should hold up super well. There's a little bit of nylon in it, so it'll be a fantastic sweater. Frankly, probably for next spring, right? Like, I'm going to work on this, but I also have 2 more sweaters that I'll probably make. Well, actually, I'll make a lot more sweaters this fall. I have a busy queue. Which brings up, I think, this fall, my plan is to start a sort of knit-along. I need to make a flax light. Now, flax is a pattern by Tin Can Knits. They have the light version as well, which is their fingering weight version. So flax is a worsted weight version. Flax light is a fingering weight version. It's a simple sweater. It's a raglan sweater, so it has increases, 4 increases on the front of each sleeve and the back of each sleeve. So it's a basic sweater construction, a little texture on the sleeves, but it's a great introduction. If you've never made a sweater before, it's an awesome choice. And that's really why Tin Can Knits created that pattern, to be an introduction to sweaters for new knitters or new sweater knitters. But I have a skein of yarn by Gauge Dye Works. You might remember Jen's Musselburgh hat, where she used a Gauge Dye Works skein, which is a self-striping yarn. I have a skein that I got, I got it for Eric when he was 2. He's now 8. Maybe I got it when he was 3. 5 years ago? It's been a while. But it was specially dyed to do the flax light sweater. Just start at the top, and it makes its own rainbow yoke, and then it's a solid color body. But it only works with like the size 4 to 5 flax. That means I have to make that size. I can't make another size with that yarn or I'll run out of yarn because it's only as long as you need for that size of that sweater. And now that's Charlie's size. So I need to make it this fall. But I thought it might be cool if I did it, if I did a series as YouTube lives. So in other words, maybe take an hour a week for 4 to 5 weeks in a row, and knit the sweater with you guys. So cast on 1 week, knit the collar probably, and start. They have optional short rows, so I can show how to do optional short rows. Then the next week, work on raglans and the yoke. The next week, moving to the arms and the body. The next week, fastening off where the arms are and going to the body. The next week, picking up for arms, things like that. Some ribbing. But yeah, I think, and just knit it live for 4 to 5 hours. It's going to take me more than 4 to 5 hours to finish that sweater, obviously, but I can get a good chunk of it done on YouTube Live. You guys can see how I do the different techniques as they emerge through the pattern. It's a free pattern, so you can download it and knit along with me while I'm working on it live. And I thought that would be fun, and it would be good motivation for me to actually get that sweater done. So I'm thinking of starting that in September. So stay tuned. I'll probably have more details on exactly when that will be at our next podcast. Right now I'm trying to firm up some September travel. So I'd like to find a consistent day every week that I can dedicate an hour. It'll probably be, honestly, in the evenings. And I'll probably have to do it here. So I've got to work around Yarnia's schedule, my own schedule, that type of thing, to find a day and time I can do 4 to 5 weeks in a row. But more news on that. And then Charlie will have a sweater. Yay. Speaking of make-alongs, I think I showed you last week. I finished my squares for I showed you last week, right? I showed you my squares for last month's Hooked on Grannies. I'm pretty sure I showed you these last time. Did I? Maybe not all of them? Don't know. Oh man, and I actually forget the name of this one. So I think I should use, these are the Paula square from Hooked on Grannies. I'm using 8 colors of King Cole Cotton Soft, which is a 100% cotton yarn at a fantastic price point. And my colors are all sort of pastel-y. And I always do them, the way that I've organized my colors is I always do them in the same order. My squares, the colors, it starts peach, pink, purple, blue, green, yellow, white, light brown, dark brown. And then I go back to peach, pink, purple. So regardless of what color, I start with a different color in the center, basically whatever I lay my hands on is what goes in the center. That one starts with blue. This one starts with brown, see, and then goes to it should go to peach pink, but I made a mistake and I went pink peach. I wasn't going to change it because it's fine. But it just gives it a little bit different look, right? But still cohesive and the same. And obviously I haven't woven my ends in yet this month. But that's the Paula square. This month is August, and our square for this month is Faye. Yeah, it's Faye. So that's what's starting today. We actually, our in-person crochet along is right before the store opens. So right after I finish this. And then our Zoom podcast, Our Zoom crochet along is this evening at 7 p.m. Eastern. And obviously we have folks from all over the country that join that. But it's just a fun time to like motivation to start your square for the month. That's when I start my squares for the month. There's and any technique that's maybe a little bit different on that square I talk about. Like the very first or the second round in this square, you use a needle join to finish the row. So I'm going to talk about that, which gives you a nice clean, what do you call it? It gives you a clean loops all the way around the top. So then when you do some back post crochets, those loops pop up nicely all the way around. You don't see where like you fastened off by pulling the yarn through. So we talk a little bit about technique. And then chit-chat about life. It's a crochet along, it's like a sit and knit, but with everybody's working on the same project. So that's ongoing. We're on our third square now. There's a Ravelry group, which I have not been super active in because I'm like here, up to here with work, both Yarnia and home and children and all sorts of things. But I'm hoping over the fall I'll be a little bit more active, and then probably as we get to the holidays, a little bit less, but that's how things go. So yeah, but there's definitely people posting their progress pictures in there, and it has the schedule of what we're going to do every month. You can hop in at any time. There's no rules. To the crochet along, it's just a lot of fun and support, and to do a hooked on grannies or to do a hooked on sunshine pattern, which I've been dying to do with Yarnia friends for like 3 years. This was my pre-pandemic 2020, early 2020 plan that got canned. Thank you, world. But now we're doing it. And now we've got Zoom, which we didn't have in 2020, not to the degree we do now, and everybody's used to it. So now we can expand our make-alongs to the world, which is a lot of fun. Let's see. I guess the only other thing I brought today, which I have been working on and I'll talk about real quick, is my Pokemon blanket. So I finished, I'm a little behind. I have finished the squares for the psychic group. So this is Slowpoke. I finished Slowpoke. This is, I don't have the name on this one, but I know this one's Venomoth. Yay. This is Mr. Mime. Then which one is this? Oh, Jinx. Yeah. Jinx. And Alakazam. Those are all psychic type Pokemon. So I finished those this week. I've moved on to the fire type Pokemon, but I know I've got a whole, so that's, I think that was the June month that I just started doing the squares on. I'm in the middle of doing because as you know, I'm working on 2 blankets for this. This is a pretty big project for me. So we get every month an order of Pokemon colors, 5 Pokemon colors from Molly Girl, who's a local New Jersey dyer. She started this amazing project. I couldn't not participate because I have 2 little boys and an older daughter and me who love Pokemon. So it was so much fun. It's so much fun to like get these colors every month, which relate to the characters from the Kanto region, which is like a region in Pokemon world that we all love. But I'm doing 2 blankets. I'm doing one with these stockinette squares, which are a little bit, I've got to figure out exactly how I'm going to put them together, although I have a plan. Stockinette squares aren't exactly square, but I think either I can block them or, yeah, we'll figure it out. I'm not worried about it. But I wanted stockinette because it just shows the colors so much better than garter does, I think. So anyway, cross that bridge when we come to it. But I'm making a square out of every one. So 5 for a year, 12, 5 times 12 colors, Pokemon colors. is 160 colors. The reason that I'm doing them separate and then joining at the end is because there's something called a Pokédex, which each little Pokemon is assigned a number, and I want to put them in the number order, but I won't know which Pokemon they're all there until the end, so I can't like do them all together. And then my garters are, I'm doing a granny stripe blanket. So the granny stripe blanket, I'm crocheting each group of 5 as we get them, so each month. So the months will be grouped together, and that I'm just doing like all as a group. So that blanket, I'm in the middle of crocheting these colors here. So, but that means I have June that I just started the, squares for. In fact, like, by just, I mean like, that's all I have on my first square for June. And I haven't even caked up July colors yet. So, that's where we are. On the Pokemon blankets, I'm about 2 months behind. But I think that's okay. It's okay, right? I'll catch up. It will get done eventually, but I've got a lot to do right now. Just to give you an idea of like how massive this project has become. Let me see. I do have all my squares with me today. These are all the squares I have so far for Pokemon blanketness. Oh, it's a lot. So I'm really enjoying this project though. I love it every month. Let me see if we have the next set to show you. Let me check. I do have the colors this month to show you. So newsflash, there's only 2 more months. There's this month and next month, and then we're done with Molly Girl Pokemon colors. So for all of you who have loved seeing the new Pokemon come out every month, there's only this month and next month. And for those of you who are like, oh my goodness, I'm done with the storyline, there's only this month and next month. But you'll still see me work my way through them because, like I said, I'm already sort of like 2 months behind. So now I'll be, after we shoot today's colors, I'll be 3 months behind. I'm working on June. So I have June, July, and August left to do for this year. Hopefully I can keep up. But I've got a lot going on, so I'm not going to be too pressury. Hopefully I'll just finish up by the end of the year, the colors part. Then I got to piece the blanket together. This might be a next summer project by the time it gets to the boys. That's okay. So there'll be more Pokemon talk, but not the little guys popping up because there's only 2 more months of that. Okay, so let me show you this month. What's the region that these are from? This is from the Indigo Plateau. Team Rocket. Let's see. This one is Gengar. Look at that. He's a big ghost. This one is Lapras. Lapras is a like water dude. Looks like a blue turtle, sort of. Loch Ness monster. Lapras. I like that one. This one is Pidgeo. Pidgey is like a sparrow, and he grows up to be Pidgeo. So that's nice. That looks like hot cocoa. This one is Machamp. Machamp is tough. He's like a fighter, like bodybuilder dude. Machamp. And then Dragonite. I love Dragonite. If you remember, I talked about Dragonair, which was a previous Pokemon. I think Dragonair I have, maybe it was Dragonair in July color? It's been recent, but it wasn't in those that I just finished, so it must be a July color. Unless it was May. But anyway, Dragonair, just such a pretty Pokemon, grows up to be Dragonite, so that's cool. I love how that orange has pops of green. She did a really good job, like, demarcating the pops of green in an orange yarn. That's tough. Those are cool. So anyway, these are my Indigo Plateau Pokemon colors. So these will get knit and crocheted into squares and granny stripes. My prediction is in October. But yay. But that means that the minis are released to you guys. And I'll have those photographed and up on the website. Not by the time this podcast comes up, because that will be tonight. But if you're also looking for them, you can always call the store, and Kathleen or Stacia or somebody who's here would be happy to help you with that.
New in store, we tweaked our schedule for the color work workshop with Evelyn Bourne and the colorwork sweater with Evelyn Bourne, and I'm super excited. We have a bunch of signups for that, so spots in that class. That's an in-person class. Both of them are in-person classes, and they look to be super fun. Like, I am super excited. I think that they're going to be great. Evelyn is such a great teacher. And the first is, if you don't know how to do color work, it's basically like learn color work with a cute little The Bauble mug cozy. And the second is, once you've learned your basics of color work, you can design your own color work sweater with Evelyn using the Strange Brew tin can knits. I know you guys have heard me talk about tin can knits before and how much I love them, but I love them. Like, you can do a sweater for any size. If you're designing your own colorwork sweater, you could make matching sweaters for like everyone in your family, and it's early enough in the season that you might even be able to get some done by Christmas or Hanukkah, or if you're me, next Christmas or Hanukkah, because apparently I am a slowpoke when it comes to finishing things. But so anyway, check that out on the website. We also have a whole bunch of new stuff coming in the store, new yarns coming out for fall, new yarns that we're carrying, old restocks of old favorites. So if you don't want to miss out on anything, make sure you sign up for our newsletter. You can go to our website, shopyarnia.com, and scroll all the way down, and then you'll, on every page, you'll see where you can sign up for the newsletter. And we send it out once a week. I actually just today did the draft for the schedule for next week, so you'll see what's coming. And yeah, it's super, super easy, super fun. But that way you know what's going on, basically, when stuff is going on, and all kinds of new stuff. So
I think the very last thing I have for you is our drawing for a winner. And I think Kathleen said she's going to send me the winner from last podcast, who, I forget what the prize is. I'll put it here, what the prize is. And then I'll put here, who is the winner? Yay! And then for this time, we're redrawing for podcast 81. So if whoever's picked, we don't hear from them, and we reach out on social media, and obviously here in our podcast, you can see if you were the winner every podcast. If we don't hear from you in 4 weeks, which is the length of time for 2 podcasts, then we're going to redraw. So I'm going to start putting that note in our notes below, just so it's clear for everybody and there's no confusion. If you see your name on a podcast from 3 years ago, sorry. Yeah, we've probably redrawn for that prize. But 4 weeks, that's quite a long time to pay attention to your social media. And the next podcast, when you comment down below. But this time, I do not see a question for this time, nor do I have no instructions from Kathleen. That means I get to go rogue on this question for this week. I have a question for you. So what we're drawing for, the prize that was also in episode 81, is one of these Montclair made pouches, right? Which are made here in Montclair, New Jersey by a local designer. And she hand stitches all these cute little things. Some of them are yarny, some of them are not, right? There's stuff for glasses and your meds, but also Team DPN, Team Magic Loop. This one's a Notions pouch. This one's the glasses pouch, right? They're so awesome. I love Montclair made. They're amazing. Such good quality too. Like this is canvas, really high quality canvas, good zippers, good all around. And perfect size for like throwing in your bag. So we're giving out one of this size. And let's say the question for this is a very Amanda question. But the question for this time, you can comment below to win a Montclair made pouch of your choosing. From within the same genre, I think it's like this size, which are like the, from this size, which I'll link below the link to these guys. So you can see the options for the little sayings. But the question, which I'm super curious about, are color combinations. What color combinations are inspiring you for your fall knitting? Are you like into the mauves and the mauvey pinks like I am? Are you feeling the browns this year? Are you still in the gray zone, which is like to me so classic? Mustards, greens. Are you navy? Tell me what color combo you're like totally vibing with for this fall. I would love to be inspired by you guys and what you're thinking about, what you're excited to try in terms of color combos for this fall. So that's your question. Let me know down below, and look forward to hearing all about it.
Thanks for hanging out with us remotely. And make sure to like and subscribe and click the little alarm button down below, and make sure you follow us on Instagram. We're Shop Yarnia. Our website is shopyarnia.com. Facebook, we're Shop Yarnia, and obviously here on YouTube, we're the Chronicles of Yarnia. So we look forward to hearing from you. I hope you guys are all having a fantastic summer, and we will see you soon. Bye.
Time for, like I said, I've got to start our Hooked on Grannies Crochet Along live here in the store, and I'll talk to you guys all later. Bye.
Share, we really are getting mosquito bitten.
You want to see mosquito bites?
No, you don't. They don't want to see your mosquito
Well,
bites.
we made pasta, spaghetti and meatballs last night, and it was very good.
We did.
Highly recommend. If you're looking for
Turkey, Charity Laurentis' turkey meatball recipe.
If you're looking
Got
for
rave reviews.
Dinner plans.
Ow. It's on my back. Can you hit my back?
I can see it. Okay, all right. Nature's calling it for us.
There you go. It's a different version of Nature Calls. Nature's calling it. All right. Take care, everyone. Happy knitting, happy crocheting, and we will be back with you in a couple of weeks. Bye.
This is my latest purchase, Knit Happy with self-striping yarn. Of course, I'm only knitting it in one color, so I try it out. But it is this pattern right here called Rainbow Adventure with Fingerless Mix.
Nice!
And I like it because the thumb gusset is a increase that goes across like this, across your palm, and I think it's going to be really comfortable.
Nice!
I'll let you know whether it is or not.
All right. Yay!
What are you working on,
I'm
Seisha?
knitting some DK weight socks.
Nice.
See, they've got this, and I'm using those knitted with double bubble minis.
So
Used for like toes and heels, and I made a little color chart for socks.
Oh, fun.
So I'm using up all of my little minis to finish up.
What's the main color?
The main color is just I think it might be called indigo. It was Swan's Island.
Oh, yeah.
We had that a long time ago.
Yep.
Yeah.
I remember that.
So, yep. That's what I'm doing.
Nice. Kathleen, say hi. Everybody just heard everything that you're working on. That was.
I'm working on Jean going to get our Chronicles package from the store.
Oh, perfect! Yay!
And the other thing I'm working on is I am loving this embroidery, the counter cross stitch.
Oh yeah.
My trees. I think it's still at the same
Oh my
point as the picture that I
No,
took.
it's not. I think it's further along a little bit.
Isn't it so fun? So cute. Yeah, really enjoying it. And it definitely goes faster on land rather than in a car. I will say. It's a little hard to do counter cross stitch in a car. That's what I did all the way home from the Cape.
And Ursula is our shipping maven.
Oh, yeah. Hey.
What are you working on?
I'm working on Champagne Cardigan by Petite Knit from my daughter
I love her stuff.
in North
Light fiber.
Fiber. There we go. I always mess it up. And I'm
It's
on
so
the
beautiful.
button band.
It's so gorgeous.
And that's the last thing other than silly ends. But yeah,
Isn't that so
Wow.
the yarn is lovely.
Is that the DK?
It's one of the worsteds.
minutes.
Ah,
It's
one of the
or
worsteds.
Atlantic. I think it's Atlantic, right?
It is Atlantic.
Nice.
And it is absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, it's really gorgeous yarn.
Yeah. She better deserve it. She better
I'm
wear
sure
it.
she does.
Not get it dirty. That's a nice color.
Hey, Vivian.
Hi,
What are you working on?
I am working on the ILHA, I-L-H-A, using Noro Sonata. I'm almost done on the second short sleeve.
Oh,
that's the
wow.
front.
So pretty, Vivian.
Oh, wow. You're
That
almost
is
done.
beautiful. That is going to be so gorgeous on
One
you.
sleeve.
Look at that color.
And then almost another sleeve. So close.
Is it a baby circular? Yeah. Okay.
It's a 12-inch, yeah.
What yarn are you using?
Noro Sonata.
Okay.
From when we, back in
From
the
when
day
we
when we
had
carried it, yeah.
But it's so nice because it's like blue and green. It's not too
Yeah,
lovely.
it's not totally solid.
Yeah.
It's nicely tonal.
It's really pretty.
Yay.
Yay.
Hey, Emma.
Hello.
What are you working on? You're not at the end of your sweater, I can tell.
No, I just started about 5 minutes ago. I realized I finished the last thing that I was working on, so I had to panic, and I bought a pattern to make a baby sweater for my friend's little sister. I'm just like using random scrap like Red Heart that I had in my room. This was really last minute. It was at 9 o'clock, but I didn't have anything to do. But I don't really love it. I'm probably gonna restart in a different yarn later.
Yeah, I've been listening.
But it works for now.
It's a practice project.
Exactly. Yeah.
And what's the book?
It is.
Hey, Evelyn.
Discovery of Witches, which
I'm actually weaving in ends.
Ah, that's smart.
This is a shawl that I designed.
That is beautiful. I was looking at it on your lap.
Yeah.
Earlier.
So this first part is a free pattern for a shawl that I was going to teach for a class that I was going to teach. And then when we ended up having to cancel the class, I just kept going, and I just added a little bit of brioche, a little bit of cable and lace, some mosaic, and some feather and fan.
That is so cool.
Gorgeous.
So yeah, I just pulled out some skeins that kind of went together, and yeah, so I'm just weaving in ends.
I saw that lace mashed up with the brioche, and I was like, what?
I know. Careful, Amanda's gonna steal.
Just the pattern. Just the pattern.
Which I have to write up now. So.
I know. Yeah. Now you're committed to writing it up.
Oh wow.
That's the thing.
Okay.
That's beautiful.
And hey, Jen.
Hello.
There's evidence that work actually happens
Work actually
On-
happens
on the
on the
anchor.
anchor tee. That is just, every time I'm like, I'm done. I'm ready to do the ribbing, and then I try it on and go, no, I need another like inch. And then I put it aside because I'm annoyed that I need to finish it. So right here.
It's going to finish in 2022.
It's gonna finish this week.
Yay. Yeah.
That's what I heard.
Committing. I'm committing. It will finish this week because it is driving me bonkers.
There you go. Yay!
Very nice.
Oh.
Let's see. No, I don't think I can. This is not going to work.
Yeah, we could.
Hey! I'm not knitting because I'm filming. Peace out.